Hello, you brave warriors of wisdom. Teachers are truly noble human beings. In the face of the pandemic, you have coped with adapting to COVID regulations, changes to the school curriculum, and changed conditions in the classroom. And yet, the general public seems to think that things at schools are normal and that everything is back to the way it was before the pandemic.
I'd like to comment on the assumption that schools are back to normal. Nope, schools aren't back to normal yet. We still social distance. We still wear the mask, children and teachers. Children wear the mask from the morning until they leave. They play wearing the mask, which is something very abnormal for them. We can't even do our extramurals because social distancing and the mask.
I asked teachers to tell us about some of the challenges that they are currently facing.
It was a challenge to teach half of a class the amount of work that we needed to cover in that time to test them. I think that was the most challenging time as a teacher, trying to teach them, coming in 15 at a time every alternative day, teaching them a section that needed to be covered within hopefully 2 days to a day.
In our school, we have two groups of learners that are coming alternative days. So we will have to teach one group and the same thing on the next day.
For me, the pandemic really took a lot away from our teaching. Having to wear a mask or having to sit in a class where all the children are wearing masks and you are always wearing a mask or a face shield or whatever you are, it really gets to you. You can't see the children's facial expressions. You can't see if they are excited about the work or are they enjoying the lesson that you are teaching them.
A lot more work. I have to sanitize children's hands when they come in, their desks, their work areas, the art materials. So there's a little bit of time shaved off the end of each lesson to be able to try and do that.
Just give it a go. Just get on with it and have a go and try and find the fun in it. And I had to very quickly just get over myself, stop thinking so much about, am I doing it right, am I doing it wrong, and just following through with that just get over it and go for it and try your best.
And then when we went back to school, it was definitely a case of just sanitizing everything and making sure that everything was clean and safe for them and that they felt safe. Things kept on changing and they need to redesign things, but I was really committed to trying to find workarounds that were as close to the experience that they had in normal years as possible.
Teachers, generally speaking, are working with children that are presenting gaps in their academic development. Things that weren't covered properly last year due to the lockdown and for various reasons. And we're having to bridge those gaps, so to speak, this year.
On top of the stress that comes with the job is the administration around it. The deadlines needed to be met, curriculum needs to be put in, that type of thing.
There are also so many more children with social and mental health issues that are presenting themselves now after the lockdown, and we're dealing with that as well.
Classrooms aren't back to full capacity yet. Because we have to social distance, teachers have to teach the same thing twice or more times because classes are coming in groups.
Lecturers in higher education are facing major issues as well.
Trying to think outside the box to make contact with your students that was not as privileged as the big private schools, so it's been trying.
It took away the opportunity for face-to-face interactions, which allowed me to be with my students, feel what they feel, understand what they are going through, and be able to assist them.
Because I had to move from face-to-face teaching to online teaching, which I was not prepared for, especially because most of the students, they love to interact and they are active learners in the classroom.
Last year, my inclusive students couldn't go and do their practicals in school. So what I usually do in my class is I always link theory to practice by using the experience that they have as student teachers. But this time it's been a challenge because they don't have that experience.
And let there be no doubt about the nobility of teachers, because with all of this, they all found something positive to take away with them.
Because learners are not able to see behind my mask and see my facial expressions, I need to be animated with my gestures and the descriptions that I use and my body language so that they can be interested and that they can understand the content a bit better.
The pandemic for me, as I'm sure for most of all of us, unearthed some valuable gems of renewal, including new technologies, new approaches to old problems, creative problem solving, as well as some heavy stones that we needed to overcome.
There's something very magical and very real about the questioning that takes place in the classroom and the interaction between the learner, the teacher, each other, the pupils themselves, that tech cannot replace. And to see that happening again and how kids are actually learning again how to cope with debating and challenging each other and challenging themselves is something magical. So I'm very happy to be back in the classroom.
And I also was very grateful for the art community coming together to help one another out, sharing tips, sharing ideas. We kind of did it a bit together. It strengthened a lot of relationships and confirmed my belief in the power of sharing resources.
I think I learned a lot, and I was lucky I was able to adjust my plans, although it was a lot of work and it took a lot to do it.
Because it has challenged me to learn to teach online using all the available online platforms.
I think that I've become more patient, more loving, more sympathetic, because as much as what we are all in the same storm of COVID-19, we are all not in the same boat. Some of us have ships, some of us have dinghies, and so you don't really know what people are going through at home. So I think that I've just become a better teacher throughout this whole process, and I'm able to engage a little bit better with my learners and just bond with them in a way where they feel supported.
But what I've done to overcome this challenge is to use the experience they have as learners, and it's been a good journey to watch them moving from just being learners, but in growing their own teacher identity into becoming teachers. So it's been an amazing experience for me. Thank you, guys.
Now, the support that made me to be able to cope was the training that I received from my institution and the assistance from my colleagues who were at least knowledgeable more than myself on the online. But I love it. I'm enjoying it because I'm learning.
To cope with the ultimate fatigue of this entire strain that we had to endure, it helps to be part of a good and well-functioning school. It's very important that those protocols and support structures are in place, just as a means of comfort that I'm sure we all so desperately need, as well as just being part of this wonderful fraternity of passionate and supportive colleagues.
But we pulled through, and they did good.
Yeah, so hold on. We are getting there, and we're doing it together. I wish you all nothing but the best. Ciao.
It's exhausting, but we are doing our absolute best, so rest assured.
And although we are faced with many challenges, one thing that teachers do is just we keep on keeping on. So well done to the superheroes without the capes.
And these are only the teachers that I've managed to contact. Imagine schools full of people like this, doing this kind of work every single day. We're very lucky to have teachers. They are indeed a very special group of people. My many thanks to the teachers who've participated in this video. Take care of yourselves, all of you, and stay safe. I'll see you again.